Welcome back to High Stakes. Elevate your betting game by hitting that subscribe button and ensure you never miss out on our daily content. Want exclusive access to premium betting picks? Join our Patreon. Links are waiting for you in the comment section below. Stay ahead of the game with High Stakes. Robert Morris Colonials versus West Virginia Mountaineers prediction. The West Virginia Mountaineers hold the advantage over the Robert Morris Colonials, both statistically and on the court. Coach Darian DeVries, who previously excelled at Drake, has demonstrated his ability to lead and develop a winning team. While Robert Morris struggles with cohesion among its roster, West Virginia's lineup features talented individuals capable of creating scoring opportunities when needed. Prediction: take the West Virginia Mountaineers to cover the -16.5 spread, as they are clearly the stronger team in this matchup. Given that both teams have several new additions, we can expect some inconsistent play rather than polished set pieces. Last season, both programs ranked outside the top 200 in points per game, so a high-scoring game seems unlikely. With neither team looking particularly sharp, take the under on 143.5 total points. Northern Illinois Huskies versus Georgia Southern Eagles prediction. The Northern Illinois Huskies head into this matchup having lost substantial production from last season, making them vulnerable against a Georgia Southern team that is gradually building its identity. Northern Illinois' depleted roster, missing several top contributors not due to injuries but to off-season changes, leaves head coach Rashawn Burno in a challenging position to reconfigure the team and get the most out of the remaining players. The Huskies will likely struggle to find cohesion and offensive rhythm with so many new faces stepping into prominent roles. On the other side, Georgia Southern enters its second season under head coach Charlie Henry, who is beginning to establish his roster and system. While the Eagles lost their top performer from last season, they retain a more stable core and made incremental improvements during the offseason. In a matchup like this, where one team is in a full rebuilding phase while the other has more stability and direction, Georgia Southern should have the upper hand. Prediction: expect Georgia Southern to cover the -8.5 spread at home, leveraging their continuity and home court advantage against a less experienced NIU squad that is still figuring out its identity. Defensively, both teams were among the weaker programs last season. The Huskies ranked 321st nationally with a defensive rating of 109.6, while the Eagles were even lower, finishing 345th with a 111.8 defensive rating. Neither team made significant defensive upgrades in the offseason, suggesting that both squads will continue to struggle on that end of the court. This sets up the likelihood of a high-scoring game as each team tries to outpace the other rather than rely on defensive stops. Prediction: with these defensive shortcomings and a likely fast-paced approach on both ends, bet on the over 148.5 total points. Neither team has shown the defensive resilience to keep the scoring low, so expect plenty of offense in this matchup. Final predictions: point spread, Georgia Southern Eagles -8.5. Total points, over 148.5. Florida Gators versus South Florida Bulls prediction. This matchup between Florida and South Florida brings a lot of intrigue, with USF likely to be especially motivated as they play in memory of their former head coach and aim to honor his legacy. Playing on their home court against in-state rival Florida adds even more intensity to the start of their season. Florida, one of the nation's top-scoring teams last year, will test USF's ability to keep up, but the Bulls have proven their mettle. They were one of the strongest teams in their conference last season, boasting an impressive 15-3 home record. In contrast, Florida struggled on the road, finishing with a 3-7 record, which could play a pivotal role here. Prediction: though USF might not secure a win outright, taking the points seems like a strong play, especially with the spread set at a substantial 9.5 points. Look for USF to cover, fueled by their home court advantage and determination to honor their former coach's memory. The game also promises plenty of scoring. Florida averaged high point totals last season, closing with 95-plus points in 3 of their last 4 games, and South Florida managed over 75 points per game, showing they can hold their own offensively. Although USF is integrating new players after some key departures, their commitment to playing for their late coach Abdurrahim should fuel their offense. Florida's high-powered scoring combined with USF's drive should easily push the game over the set total. Prediction: expect over 152.5 total points, with Florida likely scoring 80+ and USF keeping up enough to cover the spread and help hit the over. Final predictions: point spread, USF Bulls plus 9.5. Total points, over 152.5. Cal State Northridge Matadors versus St. Bonaventure Bonnies. Prediction: the Cal State Northridge Matadors had a respectable season last year, but they're facing a significant transition this time around. The team lost 3 of their top 4 players. Guard Deshaun Allen-Ikens, 18.8 PPG, 5.3 RPG. Guard Deontay Bostic, 15.4 PPG. And guard Johnny Hunt, 10.2 PPG for 0.0 APG. With an entirely new starting backcourt, the Matadors will need to adapt quickly to their new dynamics under head coach Andy Newman, who returns for his second stint with the team. Last season, CSUN was more focused on offense, ranking 131st in the nation with an average of 75.0 points per game. However, their defense struggled significantly, finishing 237th by allowing 73.6 points per game. In contrast, the St. Bonaventure Bonnies are also undergoing a massive roster overhaul, but maintain stability with coach Mark Schmidt, who enters his 18th season with the program. The Bonnies face an uphill battle, as they do not have any returning players who scored more than 2.0 points per game last season. This lack of continuity presents challenges for new general manager Adrian Wojnarowski as he seeks to establish a cohesive team right away. Despite their changes, the Bonnies aim to carry over some offensive prowess from last season, during which they averaged 73.5 points per game, 183rd in the nation, and boasted a strong defense that allowed only 68.6 points per game, 77th overall. The betting line for this game has moved in favor of St. Bonaventure, opening at -9.5 but settling at -8.5, indicating some confidence in their ability to cover. Prediction: take the St. Bonaventure Bonnies to cover the spread. They appear to be the stronger team overall, with the capability to dictate the pace of the game despite their roster challenges. Senior guard Melvin Council Jr. should be instrumental in leading the team through this transition. Given the extensive roster turnover on both sides, there are numerous questions regarding offensive chemistry and the effectiveness of their game plans. Neither team excelled offensively last season, and with St. Bonaventure facing considerable upheaval, their previous numbers may not hold much relevance for this matchup. Therefore, I recommend taking the under on 143.5 total points. With both teams working to establish new offensive identities, the game may lean towards a lower scoring affair as they figure things out. Final predictions: point spread, St. Bonaventure Bonnies -8.5. Total points, under 143.5.